my focus with this line of investigation or line of inquiry into cannabis and its potential for providing inclusive pro-poor growth in South Africa comes from that type of sense that more needs to be done at different levels from different sources to try and create a more inclusive economy. We hear this in policy documents all the time. Politicians use this term of inclusive growth all along, but what it actually means is still quite a nebulous concept. So I feel in the context of this specific industry, which has a history within the country, and my research is specifically focused on the Eastern Cape, we have the cultural institutions, we have the background, people already have the technical abilities. So it would be, actually, it's something that is already there that can be harnessed, that needs to be highlighted, that needs to be actually driven towards that can lead us to what the National Development Plan speaks about, creating 1 million jobs in agriculture by 2030, and mainly focused on irrigated horticulture. So this is an ideal opportunity for us to actually then make work of these policy documents that we have in place. How can we actually then set up something and design policies so that we don't, as Paul Michael mentioned, have the exclusion of ordinary citizens at the expense of trying to generate more revenue and have what can be termed elite capture of the industry, big corporations coming in. And this is actually already happening in one of our neighboring countries who's handed out licenses now already, that it's being captured in a way that is excluding people on the ground who's been part of this industry all along, who's been struggling against the type of oppressive and actually brutal policing of people, basically. In essence, what I'm actually trying to say in a very long-winded way is that since there's a large proliferation of scientific research on the impacts of cannabis, etc., there's not enough social science-driven research on what impacts it could have for us. So this is something that I'm trying to get more university-based intellectuals involved in, people in the agricultural space, which I've now got some exposure to. And there seems to be a lot of goodwill towards how we can do this in a positive and a constructive manner. And again, as Paul Michael mentioned, we need to learn lessons from other jurisdictions and what has been done. But I think that in terms of regulation, we should leave this industry as a self-regulating industry. So I consider myself a Marxist, but this is an instance where I feel a more libertarian approach is necessary. So I will see Anne Rand's vision for this industry, only for this industry. To sum up, we need more social science-driven research. We need economists to start thinking like humans, and not like, because economists like to think of ourselves, and we say, as scientists, and we're very scientific, and as long as we can do some regressions, then it's a cool thing. We need to take cognizance of what is happening on the ground, how people are influenced, because at the end of the day, our objects of research are not molecules, but sentient, thinking human objects.